vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Today we are going to study Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th Canto, Chapter 7, verse number 20. Atmano gururatmaiva purushasya visheshataha yat pratyakshanumanabhyam shreyo savanuvindate. Translation. An intelligent person, expert in perceiving the world around him and in applying sound logic, can achieve real benefit through his own intelligence. Thus, sometimes one acts as one's own instructing spiritual master. So here is explained the process of learning by seeing others suffering. There are three ways of learning. The best first-class learning is just by listening to bona fide spiritual master or to sacred scriptures, and just by listening, learning. But sometimes that doesn't work, and the second-class way of learning means to see others and analyze what happens to them, how they suffer and enjoy and things like that, and learn from that. And the third-class way means we don't listen and we don't learn from others' mistakes or suffering, and then we have to suffer ourselves. That is the third-class learning. And unfortunately, many times we're not very good in the first two, and then we end up suffering a lot. It's just like a child. The father says, no, don't put your hand in the fire. And the child is like, oh, I want to put the hand in the fire. And then he sees someone else burning maybe, and they say also, no, don't put your hand in the fire. But the child is so curious that there he goes, and then he gets burned. And then he suffers, and then he learns. So if we develop the ability of hearing, just by hearing from pure devotees, from scripture, from pure scriptures, then we can actually understand and learn everything we need to know about spiritual life. Unfortunately, that is not most of the cases. We don't learn that way very easily. So another way that is mentioned here that is actually not so bad is to learn by observing others suffering and applying sound logic. So to achieve at least this second class kind of learning, one has to be purified in the senses, and in the mind has to be purified. This can be accomplished by just following simple basic rules for spiritual life. Things like vegetarian diet, not taking intoxicants, alcohol, cigarette, coffee, all these things, not gambling and not having illicit sex. Following these basic rules, the senses and the mind, the intelligence becomes very quickly purified. And then there's a very strong sharpness of mind and intelligence. And we can start to see others suffering and how they go into these cycles and they get trapped by the material energy. I'll give some examples. One very common is in school. We think that, oh, if I just go to university and finish my university, I will be guaranteed a job or success or whatever. And we see that the most successful people in the business world today, they dropped out of school halfway or didn't even go to school. They just started their own thing, and they're now very successful businessmen. So one tends to think that, oh, if I finish my university, I'll be very successful, and it's not true. So just by observing others' lives and the way they behave, we can understand, oh, why do I need to go to school and go into debt and pay 10 or 20 years this debt? Is it really that good? I pay to go to this place to study, and then I have to work hard for the next 10 years? Is that like a good proposal? So it makes you think. And this is just common sense, logic applied to what's happening in society. Another very common one is the idea that if I accumulate lots of money, I will be happy. And the same thing, if you observe people who are millionaire, you see their faces and how they achieve their money, and you study, you research how they become millionaire. And well, there's so many bad stories that, well, they have to exploit someone, cheat in some way or other, and it's just like, oh boy. And then you see that person supposed to be very happy. Okay, let's ignore for a moment that whatever way they got all their money, now let's say they got it in a good way. Are they happy? Do you see their face and they look like they have achieved a state of happiness? And most of the time, you will see that it's not the case. So again, by applying sound logic, then you can think, well, why do I need to work so hard to accumulate money if I'm going to be more anxious? Because now I have so much more money, now somebody's going to steal it, or the government's gonna tax it, or I have to pay someone or I don't know. There's a million reasons why one can be in anxiety because I have too much money. So these things are common sense, and just with good intelligence you can see. The problem is most people don't even have that these basic principles that they're following. So even that intelligence is very covered. So they think, oh, I just need lots of money and women, and then I'll be happy. And then they just waste their time. And at the end of the day, they're not happier or in better shape. On the contrary, they're more anxious. So what I see also a lot in the world is that there's a huge amount of false leaders and cheating spiritual masters. And I've been lately receiving emails from different viewers of these videos and saying, oh, look, my spiritual master, he's really good, and look, this other guru, he's great. And then I study their activities, and just applying sound logic. There's this one guru, for example, who dresses himself as God to show that the pure devotee is the same as God. And I'm like, oh boy. It's just, if you just apply sound logic, you immediately can say, well, you're not God. Why do you even try to dress like God? That's maybe if you were in a theater doing a drama, but to actually do that as a spiritual practice, and your followers are, I mean, it's like, oh boy, the whole thing is just so deviated and so corrupt. But someone who doesn't know, because this spiritual master, he has plenty of followers. And they will, within their minds, they'll say, oh, it's all spiritual, it's all great. So they get cheated. And this is happening. That was a simple example, but there's so many much more worse cases that people who take this spiritual leadership role and then they abuse their own disciples, and it's just horrible. And this is a very common motivation for persons in the spiritual path to give up and say, no, all religions are bad, all religions are horrible. Well, it might be, but eventually, if you are sincere, the Vedas explain that you will find a spiritual master, a bona fide spiritual master. And this is required for actual success in spiritual life. But it will come in due course of time. Meanwhile, while it comes, if you just do this process of purifying yourself, having a very good logic, good intelligence, then you can tell by the time it comes that, okay, this is the real thing. Now I should surrender and offer service to this spiritual person, this spiritual leader. And that is the best way I see. Because if one jumps into to the guru thing and to surrender, to find someone who will fix my problems because he's pure, then usually that just ends up in some kind of cheating or something like that. So better become strong first, better become pure oneself, and then think about other steps, other stages in spiritual life. If you have any comments or questions, please visit our website, thevedicway.org. Thank you. Hare Krishna.